my name is Yuliia and you are watching Multicultural's Community Hour. In this segment, we are talking about civic issues in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I would like to introduce our guest, Rhonda Taylor. She is an executive director of Career Track. They help children and youth uncover their potential and encourage them to self-discover and grow. Career Track is a unique learning model that guides Manitoba's young people through increasingly more challenging education and career development learning. Hello, Rhonda. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
In today's interview, Rhonda will tell us how good mentorship, workshops, and inspiring workplace positively impact on successful career path for youth, and why it is important to invest in young Winnipeggers. So first of all, Rhonda, can you please introduce yourself and the Career Track?
Sure, thank you. So Rhonda Taylor, and I am the CEO for Career Track, which is a Manitoba-based charitable organization, and we provide career education programming for children and youth from equity-deserving groups living in Manitoba.
Mm-hmm. And you're working with many newcomers. Mm-hmm. You might have heard a lot of stories. What are the main challenges youth face when they come to Canada?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've definitely heard, the stories, and what we typically tend to hear are, challenges specific to connection, whether that's connection to peers, to school, to community, sometimes resources, and then particularly for the participants that we're working with, because they're in school, there's sometimes some challenges adjusting to that environment as well, right? It could be a new system to them, altogether, where they maybe haven't had a lot of experience with a formal school system. So trying to figure out and navigate that space has been challenging. Sometimes language is challenging, right? Because it's, primarily English and some French immersion. But if those aren't first languages for newcomers, then again, there's some challenges with that as well.
And tell me more about programs and services Career Track provide to your clients to overcome these challenges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we provide an opportunity for children and youth to explore careers and give them an understanding of the jobs that are available, the pathways to get there, but we're doing it through hands-on activities. So for some of our newcomer participants, if language is something that is difficult, we get them doing activities. So they're actually experimenting with the job. They're trying out different tasks and activities related to the job. So language in some of those instances becomes less of a stress because you're actually doing something to gain some experience and insight, and then we're building in sort of the language and the description as we go along.
What was the impetus for starting this organization? When did you understand that we need something like that?
So our founder, Career Track is I think we're 27 years old now, and our founder recognized a need to help children and youth kind of figure out or maybe answer that question, what do I want to be when I grow up? Going through school, sometimes we're asked that question, but we can't always answer it because we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what's out there in terms of jobs or careers or options. And so the driver behind that was to create that insight and awareness for kids while they were still in school. So, we work with students as early as grade 5 and get them thinking about and showing them and making them aware of careers and jobs that are potential for them. So they have a better understanding of options and then the pathways to those careers. And sometimes it's post-secondary and sometimes it's direct entry into employment. So it was really about how do we help them understand and have a better awareness of what's available.
And what are the differences between school system and your organization? What benefits your organization bring to your clients?
Yeah, so I think we actually complement schools and classrooms and learning objectives, because a lot of our career lessons have direct alignment to the provincial K-12 curriculum and the outcomes. And so what we hear from teachers is that our career lessons are supporting subjects like science and math, but we're able to do it in a different way. And we're we're providing that learning also after school, right? So we're helping sort of to continue that opportunity for learning and creativity and awareness. So I see us as a complement to schools.
Do you believe that when we invest in young people, we invest in the future Winnipeg? Is it connected?
They are, absolutely. I think, you know, for us to position ourselves well as a province, a city, as communities, in terms of, you know, opportunity, economic development, growth, prosperity, we do need to invest in kids, right? I mean, they're going to be the ones that are sitting in my chair and in your chair, you know, in the years to come. And so how can we best prepare them now to make those decisions that they'll need to make for themselves as they get older?
How would you describe young generation now? Are they ambitious and hardworking enough to build our successful future?
I really do. I have to say, honestly, I think sometimes young people get a bad rap, right? I think sometimes, you know, there's more credit to be given. I've spent my career working with children and youth in a number of different settings, and any interaction that I've had with a young person has only been about, what can I do next? What can I learn? Here's my idea. Here's where I want to go. And part of it, I think, really, you know, is sometimes the hang up is they don't know how to get there yet, right? They don't know sort of the next step. And so I think through, you know, community programming and collaboration with schools, you know, we can help provide, you know, some of that direction so they can take that next step and they can be the ones that are not are, but will be sort of leading, you know, our future.
Yeah, sometimes young people are not sure about what they want to do in the future. How do you help them with this hard and probably one of the most important and hard decisions in life?
Yeah, I think, you know, through our career lessons, so we have about 150 different career lessons in our database that span 30 different sectors. So what we're able to do is give our participants a good look at a number of different options. So, because you don't know what you like yet, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think sometimes I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up, right? So when they get a chance to, you know, explore a career in the trade sector or in health or in technology or in humanities, they're gaining that knowledge about what they like or what they're interested in, or maybe it's a job or career that they can start to see themselves doing. And then they kind of build that pathway to achieving that success. So, you know, our programming is really about opening up and broadening perspective and awareness about, you know, the endless possibilities that exist. You know, we were just talking about this space, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, being in, you know, film or production or editing, some kids don't even know that that could be a job for them. So we're trying to give them that.
Were there situations when young people understood that they do not enjoy what they are doing? And do they have the opportunity to transact to another career track?
Yeah, I think they can, right? I think, you know, part of what we see happen, you know, in our programming is, one, there's sort of this aha moment. It's like, oh, I could do this, right? And they sort of explore that a little bit more. Maybe they get to a point and they go, wait a minute, maybe not for me, right? So I think because we have enough variety in the careers that we're able to show, it helps kind of narrow things down a little bit, right? And granted, I mean, in grade 5, are you going to know exactly where you're going to go next? Probably not, but at least you're sort of equipped with some more knowledge that can help sort of recognize where it might make sense to change direction, because now you've learned something new. And even in some of our programming with youth, we'll do a particular career lesson and we'll get them to reflect and talk about it after. And some will say to me, I did not like this at all. And I'm like, that is okay, right? Because sometimes knowing what you don't like or don't want to do is just as important as knowing what you want to do.
Do you connect your clients with potential employers? Are there guaranteed that they will get a job after pass in your training program?
Yeah, so I think what we try to do is make that connection between our participants and industry connection. So because our participants are grade school, so grade 5 to grade 12, there's not necessarily a guarantee that there's employment that comes at the end, but what we've done is we've made a connection. So we're helping participants build their network and have a person or a place that they can reach out to if they want to explore that a little bit more. And whether there's, employment for some of our older youth after that, I think is just dependent on where our participants want to go with what they've gained and learned through our programming, but more about we've created the opportunity for them to connect.
What are some important skills youth have to succeed in the career, and what skills can help them to achieve their career goals?
Yeah, and it's a really good question, because I've been talking a lot with some industry folks and employers, and what I'm hearing more and more of is employers are looking for folks to come to their businesses or their industries with those transferable skills. So things like good communication skills, problem-solving skills. Are you adaptable? Can you think on your feet? Are you a problem solver? And granted, there are jobs that have that technical knowledge that is required, but more and more employers are saying, we need those skills, right? And we can then teach the technical side of the job, right? But they're finding that, they need more of those like skills for success or essential skills for their employees, and then they take care of the other stuff.
So you strive to create a community between rural, urban, indigenous and non-indigenous young people. Is it hard to connect all these communities?
I don't know if I would say it's hard so much as it requires patience and understanding and building relationships and creating a foundation of trust and mutual respect, right? And sort of knowing that you're working in the same direction as one another, right? So, for Career Trek, what we're looking to do is, inspire that space of curiosity and lifelong learning, because we want to see a more just and equitable future, right? And so if you're aligning yourself with like-minded communities, individuals, organizations, by building those relationships and knowing you're on the same page, makes it easy to then come together and collaborate and move forward.
Yeah, Canada is a multicultural country, so people from all over the world come to Canada. What is the secret of working in a multicultural workplace?
I don't know if I've got the secret solution or not, but I think because we are such a multicultural community and country, we have to be open and willing to learn, right? To understand. Canada's got some history that needs to be told, and so where is the unlearning and relearning that needs to happen so that there's better understanding of different perspectives, different cultures, different ways of doing and being, and when we can have those conversations and create that space, where we're working together, I think we, can get past and overcome, the challenges that show up sometimes.
Your organization provides a great opportunity to work with mentor. How good mentorship impact on successful career for youth?
Yeah, this is I like this question. So what we aim to do is we hire part-time staff who are post-secondary students, and the reason we want to do that is because they're able to talk to participants about their experience going to post-secondary. They can talk to them about their experience of having part-time jobs and sort of entering the workforce as a young person, right, and creating those building blocks. And what we also typically look to do is hire part-time staff that are also representative of our participants. So on an annual basis, about 30 to 40% of our participants do identify as Indigenous. Another 20% or so identify as Black and newcomers. And then we have participants who are also from other racialized communities. And so by having staff who are representative of our participants now see somebody who looks like them, who may have similar life experiences as them, going on to post-secondary or going into employment. And our staff become the role models and the mentors to the participants and can provide them with that guidance and support and that, sometimes that, nudge to, kind of stick with it. Yes, there's going to be hard days, but if you stick with it, here's the outcome, right? You can graduate high school, you can go on to post-secondary, you can explore employment, right? And you can sort of build career and life success from there.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what is your hope for future of career track?
My hope and where I'm sort of aiming the organization to go is, being in as many communities in Manitoba as possible, being able to work with schools and communities in that space of education and career development so that every child and youth in Manitoba has the opportunity to see where education and lifelong learning can take them. And how that then lends itself to, life success and achievement and well-being and self-actualization.
What would be your tips for young people who are don't know where they need to start, where do they need to go? What would be your 3 tips?
My tips, I think, would be take advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. Say yes more often than you say no, because you never know where those experiences are going to take you or what you'll learn or who you'll meet, right? So if you say no, you're kind of missing out. But if you say yes, it might not be your most favorite experience, but always think about what did you learn by being involved, right? And how can that help you take the next step? And the other thing I would say is, don't be afraid to meet new people and build your networks and establish those relationships, because I think one of the most powerful or useful resources we can have for ourselves is our network, right? Of people, of community, and how that can guide or shape your career going forward. I was thinking about this as I was driving here, and the last 3 jobs that I've had in my career have actually come from people that I've known and not from a job board or not from a posting. And so that power of the network, I think, is hopefully a good tip.
You seem very passionate about the work you do. Why and how it is important for you to work with youth to help them to achieve their goals?
Yeah, thank you. I am. I love the work that I do. I've spent most of my career in the not-for-profit sector. And I think it's important because, we can see and we know that there's inequities, right? Certainly for particular groups of individuals. There's things that need to be righted so that everybody can have life success, right? It's not just saved for a particular group or population of people. And I think for me, it's about, we need to level the playing field, right? Everybody has to have the opportunity to have access to whatever it is they need to be successful in their life. And so, the work that I've done, in the not-for-profit sector, I feel is a piece of that puzzle, right? We're not doing it all, right? Nobody's doing it all. But if we can add a piece to that puzzle for that particular individual, then it gives them another sort of stepping stone to their future.
What would be your message for people who are thinking about joining your organization but still cannot decide whether they need this?
Yeah, I would say, maybe check out our social media, see some of the things that we're doing and the programs that we're offering, see who's coming to speak at our events and to our programs. people are more than welcome to reach out, to our staff as well, and come tour our office and check it out. But I think it comes back to that, if you're not sure, maybe just try it, right? You never know what you might say yes. Exactly, say yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Rhonda. I think with that, we are going to conclude our today's discussion.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope our audience learn a lot from you and will join and will gain more experience, will gain more knowledge.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And thank you our audience for joining us today. We hope you enjoy it. If you like the episode, please like, share and subscribe to see our upcoming episodes.